Warning, this episode may contain some strong language. Close your tiny ears.
If I'm 60 years old going on a dating show called Age of Attraction, check my hard drive and arrest me immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
The grill.
Welcome back to another spectacular episode of The Grill, the show where we get our beef with the world off of our chest and onto the grill. I'm Ben.
I'm Izzy.
And I'm Tad.
How was everyone's week?
That's such a good question. I was low-key Luteal this week.
Oh,
My girls will know what's up.
I actually know that as well. So.
We've actually synced on the grill. Our periods have synced. No, I was low-key luteal, which for those who, you guys have girlfriends, it's like the most volatile point of your period.
Trust me, I know.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing. Anyway, Izzy, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, and you interrupted me.
Sorry.
And you interrupted me. Interesting. Okay. Anyways, so I was low-key luteal and basically I had an altercation on the tram.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Which
What is it with you and trams?
Yeah, it's always a tram story.
Your natural enemy.
I'm always on them, bro. I'm always on them because I don't have a choice.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's the way of the inner city woman. Mm-hmm. And so I was doing my groceries, and that's always incredibly stressful because usually I do it after work, and so I'm carrying like big bags onto the tram.
Yeah.
It's also peak hour.
Oh, gosh.
And look, I was just trying my best to get in as far as I could to let other people on, as you do.
Yeah.
That's the etiquette. And so I was doing that, and I must have accidentally brushed against someone. Heaven forbid.
Not on the train.
Well, it's a tram, so
Tram,
it's a lot more.
Tad already forgetting this. Whatever.
Hey, sorry, I'm just zoned out right now. I'm joking.
So, basically, I have my headphones in. I'm not paying attention. I must have brushed up against someone. Whatever. I'm getting the stink eye from this woman, like so much so, and low-key luteal, let's remember that I say, what?
Whoa.
Damn.
Actually, really crazy. Really crazy.
Did she think that you had groped her?
With my, like, Woolies bag?
I don't know the methods people are using this.
The methods, like.
Can I ask a secondary question? Is there a chance that she was synced up with you, or was she beyond that stage in life?
No, there was a chance.
Wow.
And I should have given her more grace in that situation because if I had known she was low-key luteal, maybe I wouldn't have been like, and what?
I think when the luteal stages are both hitting at the same time, it becomes a National Geographic thing where it's like two alphas have entered and
Yeah.
only one can leave.
It is true. It
She-
is true.
What did she say when you said what? That's actually really big of you.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
You said that. That's.
I don't know if it's very nice, but it did happen. And then she said, you hit me with your bag. And I said,
Hit.
it's public transport.
Wow. Wow. Kitty's got claws.
Thanksgiving clapback of the century.
Izzy is very chill until she isn't. I'll just say that.
I do kind of have two settings, and when the second one flicks over, it's not even known to me. I don't even know when it happens or why it happens.
Izzy can be your devil or your angle. It depends. Depends on
does
depends on
depend.
the phase. There are sometimes Izzy will go. I've said this before. It'll go like months and months where you can really rinse her, and then one day you just be like, you don't sweep enough. She's like, what the hell do you mean by that?
It's going to happen one day on this podcast, and it's going to be incredible.
I
when
feel like it
does.
might happen today. I'm actually on my dutyal phase.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah.
Okay.
Girth control helps though.
Jesus
All right.
Christ.
Sorry.
I was actually talking about my luteal phase.
Sorry.
So
Keep
sorry,
going.
Izzy.
Okay, thank you. So I Thanksgiving clapback of the century. She says, you hit me with your bag. I say, it's public transport. And then that's kind of the end of the interaction. I do say I'm sorry.
That's a very male thing to do where it's
Yeah.
like, and then I told him what for. And then what happened? Well, obviously I apologize
Obviously,
for what
I
I've done.
I was in the wrong.
Obviously said, I'm really sorry, lovely. I love your hair.
No, respect for saying something. It takes bravery and it takes
it takes
gumption.
a uterus, Loki.
Yeah, it takes a big set of tubes. to fucking actually stand up for yourself in this disgusting world of ours. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, guys.
What about you, Tad? How's your week?
Mine was very low key, so I'm not even going to get into it. It was a very standard week. How about yours?
I spent the entire week deliberating whether or not I was going to see the Michael Jackson biopic. And
Okay.
I'm still not sure. I don't want to go into it, but I'll just say I'm a fan of his earlier work, but not so much the stuff he did in his later carear.
I think it's a
That's
pretty
as much
reasonable take.
That's about as infer from there. I obviously have like a sort of. I've always, when I was younger, Michael Jackson was a big part of my life, so I'm not sure what I should do. I think the middle ground is still go, but just like shake my head the whole time.
Was there a phase?
Oh my god. Why'd they make a movie about this guy? This is fucking
Eating heaps of pop stuff in your mouth. And popcorn.
Dressed entirely like Michael Jackson.
One love.
All right. This part, yeah.
Was there a phase when you guys were younger where you were scared of Michael Jackson?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like everyone's had that phase where like, for some reason we're all scared of him when we were like, I don't know, in primary school at some stage.
But then sometimes I had the phase where I was like obsessed, where I'd just be like, all I wanted to watch was Thriller every single day. So I don't know. That's all I'll say on it. But yeah, I'm not sure. As far as I'm going to say publicly, I'm not going to see the movie, and I never would.
Okay.
Fair
enough.
All right. Do we want to get into our beefs now?
Let's rock and roll.
All right, Tad, do you want to go first with that?
I can go first.
With that
Okay.
enthusiasm?
I'm sorry. My beef this week is with Euphoria season 3.
Okay. I haven't seen it, so I can't join in. But
I feel it's very like I'm part of the popular ones at the moment. I know what's in terms of shows. I'm up with all the youths.
You're in the zeitgeist.
Yeah, I'm in the zeitgeist. That's what I'm
Tad
looking
is
for.
usually in the zeitgeist, yeah.
But Euphoria season 1, I loved it. I thought it was really good. It was something I've not seen before, like that. And I was like, okay, this is a show I'm going to get behind for the next couple of years, couple of seasons. This is going to be great.
You didn't know how many years it was going to be.
Yeah, I didn't know.
right?
It was literally going to be years until I got season 2, let alone season 3. Season 2 was a bit downhill, but I thought it was still within the realm of Euphoria. Season 3 is, I don't know what they're doing. So first of all, I took notes. I did homework for this one. The storylines, they're so messed up. They don't make sense. They don't continue. I don't want to say specific things in case people are watching. I don't want to spoil it. But like, I think they're going for too much shock value, and it's just like not hitting, and it's just kind of weird.
that's all Sam Levinson has. You can see.
Yeah.
Exactly. Have you guys heard of The Idol, or seen like stuff
Oh,
of The
yeah.
Idol?
I never watched it.
I can't forget
So
watching that.
Euphoria season 3 is feeling more like that now. Like it's just like season 1 was like, okay, yeah, it's high impact, like, whoa, what's going on? But it still like wasn't too much. This one is just kind of gratuitous. Too much sex stuff, too much not needed nudity in the middle of it.
Are there any Christian values in the show, or is that...
No, there's no like man and woman, like, I don't know, family or whatever. It's just
No family values?
There's no family, there's no man and woman.
no church.
There's no men,
There's
no
no
women.
church.
It's really, really...
The character development is just really weird. Nate Jacobs, as evil as he is, he was a good character. Like the way he did
Brilliant
it.
villain,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Terrible villain. In this one, for some reason, like earlier seasons before, Nate Jacobs is like dark, brooding, like calculated. This one, he's like scrambling. He's like all like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like really like up and like not.
You know what happened?
What?
The first season had female writers on the staff.
Yeah.
Sam Levinson, it seems like, perhaps lost them all in the second season.
Yeah.
And it's such a male thing to go like, actually the evil dude character is actually kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Right? And then also what happened, I think, is that Jacob Elordi got famous and is like, I'm not going to play a fucking evil person
I want to be
anymore.
in the pictures.
I want to be in the pictures.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing. I think he's had too much influence on his character now.
I'm pretty sure it's like just Sam Levinson in the writer's room at this point.
I don't even know if he's in the writer. I don't think anyone is in the writer's room. I think Sam Levinson walks in there and goes, wait, no one wrote the script? F. That's what second... I'm sorry. If you go downhill season 2,
Yeah, it's so true.
you have 3
Yeah.
seasons of the show. 2 out of 3 are downhill.
Bad. Yeah.
You didn't even go uphill.
Another thing is his weird, like, almost fetish of Sydney Sweeney and, like, just trying to, like, really basically make her naked the whole time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just, like, uncomfortable to watch. In saying that, like you said, no female in the room. All the characters are linked to some kind of sex work. Like, that's all girls can do. Or that's all females
Yeah,
can
like
do.
literally every single one.
Like,
Really?
every
Yeah.
single one. They're somehow linked to sex work. And it's like, this... Maddie's character, for example, should have been so much more developed. Now she's just, like, a high-class pimp. It's basically... She was legit wearing a fur jacket in the last episode
Yeah,
of
she looks
Respect.
great.
Euphoria. It's nuts.
Again, I think this is what happens when a guy who was like really into Quentin Tarantino movies as a young man was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to make a show. And like every chick's a stripper. And
Yeah.
there's actually like, someone's a drug dealer
Yeah.
too. It
And
looks
Labyrinth
beautiful.
isn't even.
Oh
My next
God.
point, the music of season 1 was so entwined with like the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything every Labyrinth song had a purpose. This one, I don't even know what music or what's going on in it.
It just seems like he has like a playlist he goes through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one bit which really ticked me off, you know, obviously how Angus Cloud passed away.
Yeah,
They
rest
had
in
this-
paradise, Angus.
They had this weird scene where Rue calls him from jail, but it's only hearing her bit. Like,
Alright.
she's like, oh, yeah, bro, I'm going to come see you. Oh, yeah, no, you're going to try break out? What? Like, nothing to do with the episode. It's just a random, like, I'd rather they just do a nod at the start saying RIP and just not address the character than that weird call.
The implication is he's in prison.
The implications is
They didn't get anyone to impersonate him on the other side. Well,
No.
I guess that's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? But also, I feel like it is the curse of shows like this. This is why like Skins didn't work later on, because in high school there's like, you know, an inherent like angst and grittiness, and you make bad
Yeah.
decisions, and
Yeah.
you know, you kind of like self implode a little bit, and then they're in their late 20s. It's like, I don't know, if we didn't have this podcast, what would we be doing, you know?
Well, this is what happens when you start a show pre-COVID and then
True.
leave it for. It's almost how many? It's been 7 years for
years.
Yeah.
three seasons of a show.
Yeah. You fall out of love with it and it's with that bigger gap.
Euphoria.
Yeah, Euphoria.
Yeah.
Euphoria out of
You guys should be in the
love.
writer's room.
Yeah.
And my last point with it was like the outfits and like the makeup and stuff of Euphoria was kind of iconic in the first season. It has nothing to do with it this season.
Again,
from what I've noticed, maybe it's like the finer details I've
Tab would
seen.
like them to cover up, actually.
I mean, well, there's so much, you just cover the shoulders a bit. Like, that's all I'm asking.
Well, Izzy will know about this. Again, first season, it was so iconic because he just ripped off a woman. He ripped off Petra
Really?
Collins. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. I didn't know that. But yeah.
Yeah, she was really upset about it.
And
then
Ben was going to be on the show. as well.
I was actually going to be on season 3.
Yeah, I was.
They
Yeah.
cut me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made an April Fool's prank twice saying that I would be on Euphoria season 3. The show's been going on for so long that I made that prank maybe 3 years ago and then tried it again and it worked. I still think I could be in Euphoria.
You will be.
Okay.
As a podcaster.
Rue's podcast,
Yeah.
brother.
Rue?
Rue?
Anyway, my beef with Euphoria season 3 is grilled.
Right.
Nice.
Really wish I had watched it. I think that's a slight against it because last time it came out, I feel like everyone was watching it.
Yeah.
You had to be watching it. Now I'm like, I have just as many friends who haven't been as the
Yeah.
ones who do. Have you been like on top of it?
No, I watched one episode and I said, that's actually enough.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
more
bad
than
That's
enough.
sign.
actually plenty.
If these two Tumblr fucking losers don't want to watch your Euphoria,
I know. Then
Sorry,
you've lost your core audience.
yeah.
Legit. Oh.
Do you want me to go next? Or are you ready to go next?
You can go next.
Okay, my beef this week is actually with the fact that my barber is very distracted while he's doing my hair.
You've come to the right person about barber beefs.
I will say, Tad's barber sounds way worse
Way
than
worse.
mine, but my barber... So I went to the barber recently, as you can tell. What do you guys think?
Looks fresh. I like
already
it.
gave you a compliment.
What do you guys think? Sorry, if you are listening to this, just hop on YouTube or Spotify and just let me know
Just
what you think
clock
of the hair.
fade.
Just give it a second and really breathe it in.
It's good.
I don't have a complaint about the work itself. The work is fine. But I went to my... I'm not going to get specific about this place because last time we mentioned a business, the ABC cut it out. Okay, I'm sorry. Anytime we mention a business too specifically, the ABC cuts it out.
Oh, so true.
I went to a barber somewhere at some point in some universe at some point in the fucking year.
Some universe.
Christ alive.
It's somewhere in Australia?
That's too specific, Izzy.
I may or may not have gone to a barber at one point. Now, it's a great place to go. It's one of those barbers where you walk in and they offer you a whiskey. You go to a black barber, I go to an Italian barber.
Yeah.
It seems to be a very different vibe. There is a similarity in that, like, it's very like fly by the seat of your pants. So you go and I sit down, I get offered a whiskey. You know it's a good place when you sit and the guy's like, so what ethnicity are you? Perfect.
Oh.
Great. Okay.
So, like, what's your heritage? What's your background?
If a guy is that like unaware of himself, then I know I'm about to get a good haircut. And this
But
guy
you
does a good
are
job.
like essentially just rolling the die.
What do you mean?
Every time you get your haircut, it's a different place. I've never heard you go to the same
And
place.
you went to you had free ones.
No, I got a Groupon haircut.
Groupon, that's it,
where
yeah.
I
I
walk
didn't
into
even know you could do Groupon in Australia.
Yeah, me and 7 other guys walked into a place and they cut us all at once.
There was you.
Just shears.
You know how there are some buskers who have like those multiple mannequins and they
Yeah.
walk around? It was like that, except there was 7 of us getting a haircut
Wow.
by one guy. Yes, I go Groupon. One time I went to like an expensive, hairdresser somewhere. This guy I have been to 3 times.
Okay.
So there is
So it's serious.
some sort of consistency
Yeah.
here. I wish, again, I could tell you which place. I reckon you'd like it,
Okay.
Tad. There is a sort of costume element. That's all I'll say.
He's on roller skates.
Yeah, they're on roller skates.
It's really difficult. He messes it up every time.
Yes, and I have to finish it off myself.
Yeah.
Anyways, I went and the haircut starts well. He says, look, mate, I'm sorry, I'm just like not much of a talker. Are you happy for me to just do the haircut? I'm like,
Perfect.
Brilliant. Thank you.
music to my ears.
Yeah.
Again, I'm sipping a whiskey, getting my hair cut and quiet. About 5 minutes go by and his phone rings. I'm like, okay. He's like, sorry, I just got to pick this up. Picks it up. Okay. Is she okay? Yeah. All right. Bye. I'm like, you're good? He's like, yeah, it's okay. I'm like, okay. Keeps
hate
doing the
that.
haircut. It's getting like halfway up my hair. His phone rings again. He's like, do you mind if I take this? I'm like, I mean, you are holding a blade right near my head. I don't know what else I can say.
Mind if I take this?
I was like, yeah, go for it. He gets on the phone again. He's like, yeah, will she be okay? Will the insurance cover it? I'm like, what is this guy on the phone about? He's like, I'm like, do you need to leave?
I would hate, as the nosiest person in the world, what is it? What are you guys talking about?
Will the insurance cover it? Mind you, the barber next to him is his dad, and they're talking and like, is she going to be all right? I'm like, oh my God, what's going on here? He stops, he keeps cutting my hair. Then he goes for a 3rd time. The phone rings. He goes and he picks it up and he's talking, yeah. Okay, that's fine. He comes back and I'm like, I don't feel comfortable with my hair getting cut by someone who is going through something, obviously.
His mind's not on the job.
He's not. He goes one more time. He comes back. I ask him, like, what is going on here? He's like, oh, I'm just trying to sell a car. So the insurance is about the car. I'm like, what? Okay, so now everything has tipped on its head. Him starting the haircut by saying, like, I'm not into talking has actually offended me now because obviously he does like to talk while he works, just not to me.
Yeah.
Number 2, I'm sorry, getting your haircut is very much like having sex where it's a very intimate thing between 2 people and there's a certain level of confidence you have to have in the other person and a sense of momentum. And when that is interrupted, you start to freak out.
And you have to wear that big condom.
Yeah, and the massive condom. Well, I obviously wear a condom to all my haircuts just in case.
It's just safe practice. That's what it is.
But what happens is that every time he stops, I feel like if you're just getting the haircut, you're both sort of in the mood, you're looking, you're like, all right, I'm just going to
You don't
let
have
this
to
pan
foreplay
out.
your haircut.
Yeah, I just need a bit of I need a bit of
A little neck touch.
rub.
Yeah.
That's fine. When it's going quick, it's fine. Every time they stop, it gives you a moment where you're looking in the mirror. I'm like, my hair's getting fucked up. I'm getting completely fucked up. This guy, I can't trust him. I need to get out of here. So every time he stopped, I was freaking the fuck out. If I was a barber, my friend would be switched off completely. At most, I'm like, checking a few Instagram reels now and again, but not taking calls.
Between cuts, not between the actual session.
Yeah, I would at least show my client what I'm watching if I was watching Instagram reels.
One hand just like, oh, his hand,
and if they were laughing, I'd just keep going until they stopped.
Didn't your barber eat chicken while he was giving you a haircut?
So this is where one of my barber stories was halfway through my haircut, he stops and says, I'm just going to have lunch, and starts eating chicken. I don't know if it was chicken, but it was some sort of food at the back. And he was just, I could see him just sitting in the chair. Mind you, it's not to a point where I'm like, oh, it's fine enough. It was halfway. I had half my head shaved and the other half was not even touched.
This is also a men's haircut. I'm like, they can only go for so long.
You can get them done real quick. Like, how hungry was he?
It was like, what? Maybe 11:30. He probably hadn't even finished breakfast. I don't know if it was lunch or breakfast when he was having. Another one, a quick one on my barber.
No, don't make it long.
When one time before I went to this new one, the old one where I showed you guys the photo, we'll insert the photo of my bad haircut here. They were doing this with the clippers, hitting my head like sanding away my head. I was like, that's how you know it's going to be a bad haircut already.
Chipping away at the haircut?
Exactly. And that's when I couldn't even say anything to him. I'm like, let's see what happens here. And you'll see what happens. It was bad.
As a man, when you find someone who can cut your hair correctly, you unfortunately just have to deal with it. You just have to go like, well, you know, when it's good, it's good. And, you know, I just have to focus on that. Do you go to the same hairdresser every single time or you swap it around?
I'm loyal. You think this happens by accident?
Oh, honey, I'm not sure. I can't tell. I think because I'm a guy, every time you've talked to me about it, getting a haircut, I've imagined you going to a completely different place. So you've never used a Groupon.
I should. I get the bend.
Give me the bend. You can give me a high top fade, right?
This is how it starts, though. You got to nip this in the bud quickly. Otherwise, we end up in my situation where he just doesn't care about it.
I got to discipline him.
Yeah, you got to say, no, it actually does. Don't
I should use my physical presence more often. I feel like I could be quite a dominating guy. I should walk in and be like, haircut, now. And if he pulls out his phone, I grab it and I fucking break it in my fucking head.
Like it's a can.
Yeah. Right against my head. But unfortunately, I'm actually just quite a pussy. As soon as he's like, I don't talk much, I'm like, oh, me neither. I've never actually said anything in my life. Sitting like this in my haircut.
You know what's the worst bit about getting a haircut? Is when they're doing the pumping thing, you just sit in the chair like... He's jiggling in the chair. He's still,
just letting a man elevate you.
I don't know why.
Letting another man elevate you. It's high enough. It's high enough.
I just feel vulnerable in that place. I'm like, all right, I'll just sit here.
I didn't want to say this, but I've actually never experienced that. They actually have to do the other way and lower me down.
True.
Yeah, well,
must be nice.
Next time I'm gonna walk in there and when they say take a seat, I'm like, no, I'll do it standing, bro.
Step ladder.
Hop up, and I'm gonna set my watch. Hop on my back and start cutting, pal. Should we all get the same haircut?
Yes.
You'd have to get the Izzy because I know I do not have the face to pull off like a.
Thank you.
Anything too.
You're
close
saying
to
I
my
do?
head. Well, of course you do.
Do you
You're a
reckon
model,
Tad could pull off my haircut? Thank you, I am. Do you reckon you could pull this haircut?
I wouldn't say it's like incredibly different.
I mean,
what you have going on right now.
I've always wanted to look like you, bro.
So have I.
So have I.
I think it's time we just
switch.
Anyway, my beef with my barber getting distracted over and over again is grilled.
Beautiful.
Excellent.
Okay.
Take us home.
My beef this week is with a show on, let's call it Nutflix, called Age of Attraction.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of this one, yeah.
So it's like a Love is Blind, like a similar premise where they basically take away an element of the experience so that you can sort of fall in love with the person. But instead of Love is Blind where they basically put a wall between these two people, and then they have to agree to get married before they've seen each other, which doesn't seem to work all that often.
No.
Shocker.
No, that's how my parents met, and yeah, it didn't work out.
You're a lover's blind baby.
Yeah, I'm a blind baby. They call us blind babies. It was a blind box. My birth.
Okay. But instead of that, they don't know each other's age.
Okay.
This
is already bad. As soon as you said there was a dating show called Age of Attraction, I was like, I don't know how that made it to that point.
Well,
the name is strong enough.
So it's hosted by Nick Viall, who was the old Bachelor, and now him and his partner have an 18-year age
Do you
gap.
mean literally old or a previous Bachelor?
I mean, he is old. He's unk.
Yeah.
But he's also a previous Bachelor.
Okay.
So him and his partner have like an 18-year age gap, which qualifies them for some reason to run the show.
Okay.
To host
Cool.
the business. So you can be aged 22 to 60 to qualify for the show. And it's I have seen referred to as free range, where they just kind of like for the first couple of episodes, they all just sort of mill about
You can see each other?
You can see each other. You just don't know the age of the other person. But my beef comes in. It's obvious.
Yeah, I'm like...
The wrinkles are gonna show. Like,
Or it's the kind of show, it's the kind of Nutflix show where a lot of people have had a lot of work done.
okay.
And I would say that's also obvious in a
Yeah.
different way, right? There's a flattening that happens where you're like, all right, I reckon you got to be over 40. I don't know where over 40, but like
somewhere.
but
Yeah.
somewhere
Over 40.
in that vicinity. And basically my favorite or least favorite, because I'm beefing. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Once they've certified vibed, they do some like one-on-one activities. Like they'll play tennis or do like high ropes. Why is it always high ropes with these dating shows as well?
I think they might have some sort of contract with a high rope. It's either that or like a flying fox
helicopter?
or something.
Yeah,
Helicopter.
helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't like go for a drink for some reason.
Or it's like there was one show I saw where they would like painting each other with like getting paint on each other's hands and painting each other's bodies. Do you guys remember that? Did I come up with that?
I mean, I know the premise of
You're
it.
just
but-
hoping.
They came up with like a show where like 3 podcasters like cover each other with fucking paint or some shit.
They're all like naked.
They're all like naked and shit.
There's always like chocolate strawberries involved or like a bath. Anyways, so they high rope or whatever once they've vibed, and then they can take it to the promise room and freak it.
Promise room.
What?
To the promise room.
This
So
is like Love Island.
okay, so the promise room is where you not only, I think there's a promise ring involved. I'm gonna need to fact check that. But that's where you reveal the age is.
Where does the promise ring go?
Right out the window. Once you find out the age of the other person. Once he's like, I'm 57. You're like, all right. So yeah, basically there's like the promise room element. They reveal the ages and they are so shocked, you would say.
Do we as the viewer know the ages?
No. So that adds a fun element to the show because you can guess and often it's accurate because
That's how you've
again,
been right all the time.
this is an obvious thing. I'm like, it's not so mystifying that you like truly don't know the age.
We have I don't think human beings have gotten anywhere close to the point of like actually making people look younger. We can make you look better.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see people at a certain age where I'm like, you look better than people did back when they were, didn't have mineral water.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
can still tell you aren't 20. I mean, us, it's a different thing. Like we could be what, 22?
I reckon.
I'm in my 20s for another month and that's it. I'm in my 30s
I
after
still
that.
got ages.
Honey,
Trust me, it creeps up on you.
those bangs don't hide everything.
Fuck you. Okay.
I'm feeling kind of
this is the
catty
Yeah.
today.
this is the episode where I lose it, by the way.
Me being set off by your luteal face.
There's an energy in the room for sure.
Yeah.
There's a stench to it. But so my favorite reveal in the promise room was this couple, George, 60, and I can't remember her name, like Victoria or something, and she was 27. And I would say, sorry.
No, I interrupted you. I feel like George as soon as you said George, I'm like 60 something. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know any guy our age.
I was thinking
George.
Clooney.
Yeah.
George also has the kind of haircut where you're like hiding something.
Yeah.
There's a flattening to the front of it where I'm like, there's like there's a widow's peak or a
Yeah.
bald spot or like there's something happening under there.
When men, their hairline starts receding, so they start pushing down as if hair isn't like obviously transparent. So you just get this gauzy window into like, they still have a hairline up here, but there's like like prison bars in front of it. I can always tell. As a guy who's worried about my hairline, myself, I can always tell.
George has that going on for sure. Anyways, so the reveal, they're shocked, of course. She's like, whoa. He also has kids and he doesn't tell her about that. He doesn't tell her in this whole process. I don't know why. Maybe 'cause he thought it would age him.
I guess so.
It would age him. I don't really know. Anyways, then she tells him that she's actually celibate at the moment and she has been for 2 years. And he's like clearly upset.
He wants to exit the promise room. This is not what I was promised.
Get this girl on Euphoria. They need a bit more of that energy on that show.
Because, and I don't know George like that. I also didn't watch enough of the show to really make a judgment call. But I'm like, you would think that maybe it attracts the kind of guy that perhaps wants to sleep with a younger woman. And that's a lot of the...
You mean the sleeping with younger woman show?
I don't want to offend.
If I'm 60 years old going on a dating show called Age of Attraction, check my hard drive and arrest me immediately. Immediately.
There's some
Lock me up.
And so George is like clearly upset because they're not going to have sex.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately why they break up.
Look,
Oh my
no
God.
judgment to how people want to live their lives, but I would not go on a dating show if I was celibate. I feel like there's a sexual potency to the show.
Exactly.
There's like a very quick, we're just like figuring each other out immediately. If you're like a slow burn person, I don't know.
That's not this. Yeah.
E-harmony?
Exactly right.
Plenty of fish. But also, it kind of makes sense because they make these shows out like they are about finding true love and that you can remove these elements. You could be blind and deaf and you would still and ageless and you would still love this person because that's how far and deep the love runs.
Sure, but once you're a certain age, 27 at least, that's like believing in Santa. These shows are made to make a joke of you and everyone else watching it as well.
It's true.
Was she upset that he ended things?
I think so. Yeah, I think she was surprised. I don't really know what the end game was for the two of them, but
Did they stay in the show? Can this George guy go off and try
you can exit
promise
at
with
the
someone else?
promise with someone else. No, you get one promise, but you can exit after the promise room phase, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one went running.
I think you gotta start the conversation with celibacy because that's something as soon as someone finds it out, it's like, well, I like sex, so this is not going to work out. Although they were already keeping their age as a secret. So I guess, why can't she keep that a secret? Respect to her, whatever her name was.
Well, she should go celibate if she's blind or something like that.
Celibacy is blind.
Yeah.
Trademark that.
Yeah.
You've got to hit.
Bleep that bit out.
So Tad reckons everyone in Euphoria should cover up. Celibacy is blind.
Mm-hmm. Would you go on this show, Age of Attraction?
No. Stop.
Me neither.
Because I can find a man in the real world.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can, honey. Yes, you can.
Anyways, my beef with this ridiculous show, Age of Attraction, is grilled.
We should
Make our own dating show?
We should make our own dating show. What could it be called?
Grilling is blind. Where someone grills you a piece of meat and then you give it to someone. And if it's grilled perfectly, you're like, I want to meet
You know,
this
it
guy.
doesn't
pretty
have
good.
to be blind.
Yeah, we can move away from the blind thing. I think
Okay,
there's
okay.
already a show that has that. as
What
part
about
of
I don't know, fashion is blind. Where,
Okay. All right.
it. Meat cute, but spelled meat.
Nice.
You grill a piece of meat and give it to someone, and if it's perfectly cooked,
you go to the promise room.
you go to the promise room. There's still the promise room, and you still have to hide your age.
Also, you can't see them.
You can't see that.
Perfect.
And also, you both have to be on the spectrum, and then we can cover all of the shows all at
Everything.
once.
In it.
Our grilling is done. Our beefs have been laid out. it's now time for us to listen to a user-submitted beef. Now, every single week, we will read one of these out. If you want to send one of them to us, you can do it at this address, because I've forgotten it.
Okay, do you want me to say it?
Yeah, you say it.
Okay, it's thegrill@abc.net.au.
Who do we have this week? Elsa from Frozen. All right, play it.
My beef is hot people wearing like actually comically, ridiculously ugly shit. And it makes the rest of the population think that that stuff is cool, but it's not. Fuck you guys.
Sorry.
Elsa.
No, sorry.
We both
Whoops. Me and Tad like to push boundaries a little bit.
Unfortunately, Elsa, I don't understand what you mean.
You guys pushing boundaries in your matching black shirts and jeans?
This is not matching. This says out of many one people. African. I mean, this is racially based.
All right, Elsa, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Hate that shit.
I think this is very Jacob Elordi coded. He seems like the type to be doing this type of stuff.
I gotta say, I don't agree with Elsa.
Really?
I love it. I like it when any person takes an opportunity to dress as badly as they can. I love the Emperor's New Clothes effect that happens with our culture.
Okay.
Because the funniest thing is seeing the run-on effect, and then you just see a bunch of normie guys dressed like shit as well. It's a very funny prank.
Those red boots that you're talking about.
It is kind of like how luxury had to get quiet with it because people started wearing like branded stuff to show that they could afford it. So then they had to get like more covert about like how they were buying, expensive elite clothing. But with these, it's the same thing with these hot people. They have to like push the boundaries. They have to push the boat out so far that nobody can ever look good doing what they're doing.
Yeah, the idea is that if anyone would dress like this, it would ruin it. So I'm going to dress as badly as I possibly can. However, it is so fun. It kind of feels like a big cultural prank where all of the alt cool people dress a certain way, and then eventually people who would have bullied them are dressed like complete shit, but in 10 years later, so they just look stupid.
Isn't that how peacocking started? You just wear something ridiculous?
Yeah, peacocking, I think, was actually co-opted by the pickup artists of the world. Okay. Do you know what peacocking means in that context?
I don't.
It's shocking women with your clothes. So like there was this pickup artist I watched on YouTube when I was 12 or something, just for no reason.
Of course.
But he would wear a giant Jamiroquai hat around, and apparently
That's
that worked
really
for him.
good, actually.
Yeah.
That'd get me.
Yeah, coming towards women like that, like the video. I have to disagree with you, Elsa. I am proud that a hot person myself, I'm proud that some of us are willing to push boundaries. And yeah, I disagree, but I respect you for sending it in, and don't think you can't send it in.
I have one more thing to say.
Say it.
If you are going to be a hot person that does this, you got to push the boat out pretty far. Because you can't just be a hot person and put on a fedora and be like, look at me, I'm goofy.
Yeah.
I really am a goofy guy.
It has to be something really out there. Yeah, agreed. I agree with Elsa. I think I'm not about shock value, big clothes. You trying to wear something stupid just for the sake of wearing something stupid. I think that's where I'm opposite to you, Ben, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, Tad, you would have been making fun of jorts a few years ago. You literally were, and then you bought a pair of jorts recently. So you're the guy that gets pranked.
Yeah, but I like ease it in because I'm like we said at the start, I'm kind of cool. So
Yeah,
very cool.
you are. Is Elsa's beef grilled?
It's grilled.
Grilled.
Elsa, you've had your beef grilled. You're part of the show now.
You are.
You're like one of us.
Permanent residency to Grill Nation. Congrats.
Every single person who sends in a beef, we will invite to be a guest on the next episode, and then by the end, we'll have like 48 people in this room.
Really hard, really chaotic to listen
Really
to.
loud. Really, it's a dating show. By the way.
where everyone's blind.
Is that it?
That's it.
Thank you so much for listening, guys. We really appreciate your listenership. If you want to get on the show, send a beef to... Where is it again? I forgot.
The grill at... Well, I just had a
The
moment.
grill at abc.net.au. And if you're listening to this, take a second and like it. Give it 5 stars wherever you listen to it as well. Comment on it. Say something to us.
Share it with a friend, share it with 2
friends.
friends, share it with 3 friends, get them to share, like, and comment.
Yep.
Listen to it on ABC Listen and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and YouTube, and find some clips on TikTok. Just find it anywhere and get it spread, okay, please.
Yep.
Please.
And we'll be back next Thursday.
Thank
Okay.
you so much.
We love you.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.